Hey guys, welcome to my Mycology 101. Today I'm going to be inoculating the 2 bags of rice. The method I like to use is the Uncle Ben's original brown rice. And once you got everything sanitary, these 2 bags here are wiped down. Make sure you got your 70% alcohol, paper towels, always gloves. Now once you get all that ready, I kind of prepped ahead so wouldn't be a bunch of lag time in between. Anyways, carefully put your needle on your spore syringe. Shake it up as best you can. Okay, and when inoculating these Uncle Ben's bags, just as a center point, I like to go right there at the bottom of the A. And then I'm going to push at least, oops, you gotta pull back a little bit sometimes because a piece of rice likes to get caught in the needle. We're gonna push it about, because you can see the spores somewhat start to go in. And I use 2 bags of rice per spore syringe. So I kind of just equally go in between these 2 bags, making sure each bag gets a good amount of spores. Always go in the same hole. Okay, now this is the tape I use, M3 Next Care. We're going to cover those holes ASAP. That way no germs, bacteria, nothing can sneak in there. Make sure those are all good and snug. Now what I like to do is I like to use the same needle. Gotta heat it up, purify it really good. Now, when these bags come, they come vacuum sealed, so they're very hard to work. You have to work all the rice down to the bottom. Make sure there's no rice up here that's going to contaminate your bag. Just because I didn't do that straight away. But anyways, even if the smallest piece of rice is left at the top by your vent holes, it's going to contaminate your whole batch, and there's nothing worse than, come substrate day when it's all fully colonized and you open up your bags and your damn rice is green. Okay, now that sucks. Anyways, we're going to make our 2 holes, our vent holes at the top. Being very careful not to, inoculate ourselves. We're going to pinch the top and be sure not to go through to the back. I hope you guys are getting a good view of this. You want to make sure your needle does not go through to the back. I've never done that before, but I've always been careful with it. So anyways, we're going to cover those vent holes also ASAP. I have been growing mushrooms for many years with this method. It does work. It's tried and true. I know there's a lot of controversy on the Uncle Ben's mycology, but guys, it works. Okay, we got that one's done, sealed up. Okay, moving on to our next one. Gonna re-sanitize this needle. I'm gonna burn that bitch till it's freaking black. Make sure there's nothing left on there. Go through, make your vent holes. Okay, again. This also makes it, hot, so it kind of just melts through the bag. Okay. Boom. Alright, now we're going to cover those holes. I know there's so many different ways to grow mushrooms, but this is the only one I've ever tried, and it's always been successful, so I've just kind of stuck with it. This one here, I believe, is lion's mane. And the ones I just did with pink oyster, I'm doing multiple of both because I love them both. They're very awesome. And the lion's mane is so beautiful. And I like to get a Sharpie and write down my inoculation date, just so I know, exactly a timeline. My Sharpie's going out. Okay. Wow. Okay. Now, we got one more to go, so 2 more bags. That needle's cooled off by now. Close up our syringe. Okay. Moving on up. Boom. Okay. Next 2 bags, last but not least. Even though these have already been sprayed and wiped down, I'm just going to do it again because it's been a minute. And you can never be too sanitary in mycology. I also spray my gloves down. I mean, I should change them, but spray my gloves down. Now they're wet, I can open my package. And I believe these spore syringes can be stored in your fridge for up to 6 months, which is totally cool. Because then you don't have to get on it right away, And they won't go bad. I believe shelf life is about 6 months. Fun fact, check me on that. Okay, and just like last time, we're going to shake our syringe while the stopper's still on it. You can see all the little spores in there. I'm not sure if you can or not. Okay. See, it's totally cool, right? I'm going to take our little stopper off. Twist our needle on. Again, just like the last time, go right to the base of the A on grain. Go until about half of the spores have entered the bag. Go to our next bag. And the other half of the spores have entered the bag. Go back to our last bag. We'll go half. Half. Okay. Get our tape straight away. Cover our injection hole. Sometimes these bags are impossible. And you really do want that tape on there snug, because germs are a bitch. Bacteria is a bitch. Kind of funny when you're growing fungus. So much can go wrong. But that's what makes it all fun, is, knowing what you're doing and doing it right. Especially if you want the results and the product you're growing. So, boom. Okay, we got those 2 on there. Now, we are going to make sure we don't have any more spores in that syringe, because I hate the sizzling and the popping. We're going to heat up our needle, as we did in the last one. put her on through, making our 2 vent holes. Okay. Now, back to our M3 tape. Cover those holes face up. On to the second batch. Okay. Straight on through. Straight on through to the other side. Okay, cover those best you can. And again, check your back just to make sure you didn't go through. Because if you did, get a piece of tape over that hole. And both of these look good. Get our Sharpie and write down our pink oyster. And inoculation date, which is 8/9. Alrighty, and there you have it for growing mushrooms in Uncle Ben's brown rice.